everybody, Dr. Pingle here. Welcome to the course. This is Geography 459, 559. I'll be your instructor. I'm Dr. Thomas Pingle, and we're happy to have you. So what I want to do here is to give you a quick introduction to the course and what we're going to be doing and what we're going to be covering. This is kind of a lecture that I would be giving on the first day of class. And so here we are with a Blackboard panel open here. And I'll just walk you through what we're going to be doing in the course and what you're going to be expected to do. And how you're going to be assessed, kind of the major pieces. So with that, we'll start with information. So this is the course information page. We've got things like the course schedule up here. So if you click on that, that is going to bring up a Google document that's going to show you sort of when we're going to be getting through each of the units. We've got 9 units in total for the class, and you can find them there. This is the syllabus itself. So we've got geography, we've got the title here, some basic course information for the in-person version of the course, which if you're interested is taught in the spring. We would be putting sort of the lecture and the lab here, so those are more or less just placeholders. My contact information is here, so there's my email. I'll be sure to post my office, which is not there right now, but that's Davis 219C, so the second floor of Davis Hall, kind of the alcove on the east side of the building. The TA for the course is Stephen Chun. He will be grading some of your material, helping me with the discussion forum, and so on. This is the course description, so I'll let you kind of read that on your own. This is the third in the 3-part series, so you've already taken some GIS, you already know a good deal. My goal is to kind of take you the rest of the way through, to kind of polish up your skills, to teach you some new things, and to get you ready to go out there and work at an internship or a job. So much of what we're going to be doing, much of the approach in this course is going to be sort of a lot of self-starting. You're going to be expected to really kind of work on your own a little bit more, but we're always here to help. So the way that I've set up the course, the way I've kind of designed it is to kind of give you a lot of information. There are video lectures to support the assignments and the lectures. But ultimately, I want to give you a chance to sort of try things out on your own, and then to help you when you make mistakes. If we kind of lead you down the path and give you too many directions and instructions, then you're not ever kind of operating on your own. So we want to give you that freedom to kind of operate on your own in this course, and to make some of those mistakes and figure out what you don't know, and then to fill that knowledge in. Course prerequisite for this is the second part of the GIS course. So this is Geography 359 or 557 if you're a graduate student. Course objectives here, we want to enhance your cartographic skill. These are basically going to parallel the lessons that we're working through. So we're going to enhance your cartographic skill. I'm really interested in geovisualization and cartography. I am a board member of GIS, which is the Geographic Information Society. And cartography and geovisualization are important. So this class is partly about analysis, but ultimately, you know, if you're going to be creating maps, you're going to need to be creating maps that persuade and inform. And good cartographic skills are really key there. We want to develop your strategies and knowledge to locate, clean, and efficiently manage real data sources. So finding data is actually one of the hardest parts of the job. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's hard. But getting it in the format that you need it in is often a lot of work. And so we're going to be asking you to locate data instead of sort of providing you with data. You're going to be asked to go out there and find it. We're going to teach you how to do that. But you're going to be responsible for sort of generating and cleaning that up, and that is the reason for that is, you know, a lot of what we're doing in this course is oriented this way. It's to again make you an independent GIS operator so that you can feel confident to do this stuff on your own. So when you go out there in the workforce, you can go out there and find the data sources that you need. Part 3 here, we're going to increase your exposure to web GIS tools, including cloud-based geoservices and APIs. Collaborative mapping via OpenStreetMap, and the humanitarian OpenStreetMap team and ArcGIS Online. So GIS is moving away from the desktop and out into tablets and phones, things that operate on the cloud, and so we need to make sure that you have a good understanding of how that works, and most especially how you use it to get the job done that you need. We're going to have you dig deeper into the geospatial data structures and types to increase your ability to rapidly and accurately transform data. So as I said, data is often not in the format that you need it to be in, and knowing a lot about data formats and how the data is structured is going to give you that framework and flexibility to work with data that may not be quite right, but could be right if you can just sort of modify it and massage it and make it work for your task. So that's going to be sort of getting into the weeds a bit of how the GIS data itself actually functions and operates and is stored. So a little bit of computer science background there. We want to expand your repertoire of higher level, widely applicable geospatial analysis functions. So managing, getting data is important, preparing good looking maps is important, but we want to also give you some extra skills so you can kind of go take what you've learned and kind of take that to the next level, learn how to do some basic statistics and whatnot on the data. So I hope you'll find that very interesting and informative. We want to try to bridge the gap between GIS and data science, especially focusing on database theory and application. So GIS is an information system, and like many other information systems, it relies on databases. And there's a good bit of information that you should know about how those databases work and operate so that you can understand how geospatial data is and is not special, how it's related to sort of the wider field of information science. And then finally, we'll be exploring modern terrain processing and visualization, including LiDAR, 3D GIS, and remote sensing. So we're going to sort of teach you some of the newer tools that are out there, terrain and LiDAR and remote sensing are all kind of just getting better and better all the time. So we're going to introduce you, give you the background where you can find that material and how you can use it most effectively. There is no textbook for the course. There are going to be a significant number of readings, however, so those are going to be linked off of each unit. So there's nothing that you have to buy. All of the articles and things are going to be required, but it is going to be a significant amount of reading, so budget that time in. In terms of assessment, you're going to be assessed in a number of different ways. So there's going to be a post-unit quiz that's going to be worth about 20% of your grade. So after each unit, you'll do some online multiple choice tests, filling that information in. Those will be graded automatically. Those will tend to be due sort of at the middle part to middle end of the units. You're going to have map-based assignments, so it is key that you can take projects from start to finish, that you can find the data, that you can represent it, that you can polish it up. And here again, I should emphasize that we are focusing on polish, so making things that look good, things that when you go out there on the job market and have an interview, you can maybe bring out and show. So we want to make sure that everything is as it should be, everything looks good and is nicely organized. So those map-based assignments altogether are going to be worth about 40% of your grade. The lab notebook is going to be worth about 30% of your grade. So these are going to be sort of, I think of these as sort of recipe books. So we're going to be covering a lot of tools and techniques. And these recipe books are going to be sort of your experience using those tools and kind of notes to yourself and to me about how you use them, what you learned from them, especially what the parameters are, and learning a little bit about how you can use those effectively. You're going to be seeing more and more examples of these in depth as we go. And then forum participation is 10%. Think of this as your participation grade. I need to make sure that you're interacting with me and interacting with each other. Muchly, this is going to take the form of sort of small little posts that you're going to have to make now and then, and I'll show you an example of that in a minute. For the graduate students that are in the course, you are going to need to be doing readings as well. As of the recording of this particular video, I haven't worked that out yet, but there are going to be about 10 readings that you're going to need to do. I'm going to be providing you with more than 10, so you don't have to do all of them. It's going to allow you a little bit of choice. So if you're more into the readings on meteorology or anthropology or physical geography, you can kind of focus your attention on those. But you are going to have to read most of the readings that I provide for you in the course. And then grades are going to be calculated according to the usual manner. The late policy for the course is fairly generous, so assignments are due before midnight on the day that they're assigned, so make sure that you get those things in there. Late assignments and quizzes lose 20% of their value each week, up to a maximum of 50% off. So if you've got something that's due on midnight of Tuesday and you turn it in Wednesday the next day, it's already getting 20% off. So you are encouraged to get these things done and in on time. It's not the end of the world if you don't. In fact, I've structured it so that it's still worth your while to do everything in the course. But obviously you're losing a lot of points pretty quickly. So pay attention to those due dates. I'll try to send out reminders when I can, and be as clear as I can about how what those due dates are. But ultimately it's your responsibility to keep track of those. Academic integrity and students with disability. If you are a student that has a special need in the course, please let me know. Many of you will already know what to do, but if you don't know what to do, we have a great Disability Resource Center on campus, and they can walk you through that process. I am happy to help with that in any way that I can. As far as the academic integrity policy goes, you're really responsible for doing your own work. I certainly don't want to see people, it's very helpful sometimes you can get together and work. Maybe some of you are geography majors and know each other outside of this course. And working together is fine and trading ideas is fine, but you certainly don't want to be turning in maps that look the same, write-ups that are word for word the same. So do your own work. Plagiarism is taken very seriously in this course. If you have questions about what does and doesn't count as plagiarism, let me know. But you should lean towards doing your own work if there's any kind of a question. And I'll let you read in any of the details there. Course software. We are using ArcGIS as part of this course. Many of you will have already installed that, since this is the third part of the course. Most students that take this one have already sort of installed and have a version of ArcGIS working on their computer already. If you don't, I've provided some instructions for getting that going. Making sure you've got a working copy of ArcGIS available to you is really the very, very first thing that you need to do. And so I've provided some instructions on how you can do that. First of all, ArcGIS only runs on Windows machines, so you need to take that into account. Easiest way to get that installed is to stop by and pick up an install CD from the main office of the department, which is on the first floor of Davis Hall. And that is by far the easiest way to get going, because it's going to have a little printed EVA code to register it, and you can get going very quickly. However, you can also download it. This isn't too bad. To get that going, you need to email me. I can give you one of these EVA codes. You can use that to go to a website. You'll need to create an Esri login, unless you already have one. That's free, but you'll need to do that before you can register the software. You'll log onto the system and you're going to be presented with the download page. At some point you're going to have to put in that EVA code. And then you're going to get taken to the software download page, where you can download ArcGIS for desktop. There's going to be quite a lot of things on that list. So ArcGIS for desktop is what you need. And then I provided some additional install instructions for you there. Again, if you already have a version of Arc installed, you're welcome to use that. I wouldn't recommend using anything older than 10.4, but 10.4 on up should work fine. In fact, many of the videos are still going to be using 10.4, but 10.5 is kind of what we're orienting towards. So if you're at 10.4 or 10.5, you should be in good shape for this course. If you've got a Mac, there are a couple of options for getting that installed. I provided some links there. It's not the easiest thing in the world. We generally recommend that people with Macs take the in-class version, because we do have a computer lab that then you're welcome to use, and so you can sort of be sure that you've got a working copy of Arc that way. There are workarounds. Plenty of people, GIS professionals, use Arc on their Macs every day, so you can definitely do it. I provided some links to the instructions there. I'm not officially supporting that for this class, but I'll try to answer any questions. But keep in mind that having a working copy of the software is your responsibility, and having it not working is not an excuse for not getting your work done. You really need to be on top of that. If there are glitches or errors or whatever, certainly email me and we'll help you work through those. But I'm sure you can see that if we allowed glitchy computers to let you out of doing your homework, bad things would happen. So really you've just got to sort of keep up with that stuff on your own. There is an online option. NIU has a platform of applications that you can use through your, essentially through the web. These are called Anywhere apps, and I provided a link for you there down at the bottom. And so you can use ArcGIS that way. It's a little bit laggy. I think it works fairly well on campus. It works a little bit worse if you're off campus. It really depends a lot on your connection speed and how close you are to the server. It's not a great option, but most people find it helpful in a pinch. I'm also working to try to get as many computer labs on campus access to ArcGIS if that's more convenient. Starting at the library, as of the recording of this video, I do not have information, but I will post that to the course when I know more. So let's take a look at Unit 1 to see what you've got coming up first. So all of what I've been looking at here is under information. Content is where we're headed next. This video is posted under the introduction to the course and a little welcome note. But let's, since you're already watching this video, let's dive right in here to Unit 1. So Unit 1 is on cartography and geovisualization. This is a topic that's near and dear to my heart. Making maps that look good and inform is really important. If you do a lot of really great GIS work and then make a really terrible map, nobody's going to like it. And it's not going to do its job. So you really need to know how to kind of polish these things up. Having a good polished map is what's going to help you get a job out there. And so it's really important that you take what's going on in this section seriously. This is what is going to hopefully distinguish you from the rest of the pack that's looking for GIS work. So good quality work is what we're after here. I posted the PowerPoint, which you're welcome to download, and as well as study questions that will help you with the quiz, and we'll get to that in just a second. Those links are at the top of the page. So we have objectives. So I'll leave some of this to the introduction to that unit. So rather than focus on introducing you to cartography and geovisualization, what I want to do here is talk about how you kind of navigate through a unit. So we have the objectives at the top and key terms. These are sort of focusing your attention on what you're going to be covering. And then really your next stop is here, the lectures in the course. And so the organization is going to vary a little bit by topic. But essentially what you've got here is you're going to have a link to a video that's posted on YouTube for sort of the traditional lecture and theory, the background of what that topic is all about. And then there's an application video that accompanies that, and that application video is where I show you kind of really within ARC where you're actually making that happen. So the one hand is sort of what we're after and how it works, sort of big picture. And then the application side is how you implement it. So I've more or less got those paired for each one of these. Sometimes it varies depending on the subunit, but you can see that for visual hierarchy and symbology and so on, we've got this theory and application. And if you click on those, a YouTube page is going to come up that is going to, well, make sure that this is fixed. A YouTube page is going to come up that's going to link you to that video. For the readings, we've got three different types of readings on this particular section. We've got the required readings, so these are here marked testable on the unit quiz. So you want to make sure that you have read these before you take the unit quiz. We usually have, it really depends on the unit, but in this case we've got 3 different articles here. The 2 articles by Marc Montmonier give you some background about cartography. There's a good one here on the Peters projection. But in general, you've got, depending on your reading speed and how much I've got here, somewhere between, let's say, half an hour and 2 hours of reading for each unit. Graduate students are going to be responsible for additional readings, again, that they're going to have to write reviews for. So here I've got 3 graduate readings that you can do. These also vary in length. This article by Wood is relatively short. Some of them are really technical. But these are designed to sort of give you sort of a stronger background in the geographic information science part of it. And then I have reference readings. These are not required, but oftentimes these are going to be helpful little bits to support the lecture. And I may refer to these in lecture now and again. Now at the bottom, you've got the thing that you really want to pay attention to, and that's why I put this in red. These are your assessments. And so I've got due dates posted up here. So you've got a Unit 1 quiz, which in this case is going to be due on Thursday, September 8th. You've got a notebook that's going to be due the following week on Tuesday, a map assignment, and then forum comments. So these are basically going to be the big 4 things that you're going to have to cover. And these do involve quite a bit of work. So the Unit 1 quiz, for instance, is 40 questions. This is a timed test. You've got half an hour to take it. You've got a notebook that you're going to need to do. So this is like the recipe book. That's going to take a couple of hours to complete. You've got map assignments. These can take anywhere between 1 and 8 hours to complete, depending on your ability level. I would say for this first one, you want to probably budget at least 6 hours or so to make that happen. And then forum comments, these are generally pretty quick. So in this case, we're just asking you to post the map that you generated for the first week and then comment on some others to sort of get the conversation going about map design. So all told, each unit is going to vary in length. I'll generally walk you through with an introductory video at the beginning of each unit and let you know kind of my expectation about how long it's going to take you to get through these. But these are only just rough estimates. It's going to take some people longer and some people shorter. So the main thing that I want you to know is that this course is pretty time intensive. It is online, but that doesn't mean that it's any lighter than the in-class version. And so you really are going to need to budget a fair bit of time per unit, and you'll have a better sense of how much time it's going to take after you get through Unit 1. In terms of completing the assessments, those are all going to be linked here under assessments. So you can see that I've got this broken down by unit quizzes, notebooks, and assignments. So each one of those is posted in their respective spot. And then the discussion forum is going to be right here. So you can post your discussion pieces there. So there is a basic introduction to the course. I hope that gives you some idea of what the expectations are. Again, my email is in the syllabus. I am available. Make this a little bigger. I am going to be available on campus most of the semester, so you really shouldn't have a problem finding me. Email is not a bad way to get started. You're welcome to post questions, and I encourage you to do that in the discussion forum. Lots of times, students that have people that have one question, there's somebody else in class that has the same question. So definitely look in on that and see if somebody has asked that same question in the discussion section. Or just stop by my office. I'm in Davis Hall, 2nd floor, 219C. I love it when students stop by. I'm kind of used to teaching these courses in person, and I really I kind of miss that one-on-one or face-to-face interaction. So stop by sometime, say hi, let me know that you're in the class, and we'd love to see you. So with that, good luck with the course, and happy to have you here, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks.